Hello. There is shockingly little on YouTube about banshees. So I'm going to amend that with a few videos on the subject. I'm going to kick off by reading out a first-hand account of someone's experience with a banshee. Her name was Lady Fanshawe, and she was a royalist who spent the Civil War and interregnum traveling around to be away from Cromwell. So her name's Lady Anne Fanshawe, and she's a young woman, and she's traveling around in Ireland, and she comes to stay one night. So she's on the run, basically. She comes to stay at the home of Lady Honor O'Brien, and this is what happened. There we stayed 3 nights, the first of which I was surprised by being laid in a chamber when, about 1 o'clock, I heard a voice that wakened me. I drew the curtain, and in the casement of the window I saw, by the light of the moon, a woman leaning into the window through the casement in white, with red hair and pale and ghastly complexion. She spoke loud, and in a tone I had never heard thrice, "A horse, a horse, a horse." And then, with a sigh more like the wind than breath, she vanished. And to me, her body looked more like a thick cloud than substance. I was so much frightened that my hair stood on end and my nightclothes fell off. I pulled and pinched your father, who never woke during the disorder I was in, and he was at last much surprised to see me in this fright, and more so when I related the story and showed him the window opened. Neither of us slept any more that night, but he entertained me with telling me how much more these apparitions were usual in this country than in England. And we concluded the cause to be the great superstition of the Irish, and the want of that knowing faith which should defend them from the power of the devil, which he exercises among them very much. About 5 o'clock, the lady of the house, oh, this is where it gets interesting. About 5 o'clock, the lady of the house came to see us, saying she had not been in bed all night because a cousin O'Brien of hers, whose ancestors had owned that house, had desired her to stay with him in his chamber, and that he died at 2 o'clock. And she said, "I wish you to have had no disturbance, for 'tis the custom of this place, that when any of the family are dying, the shape of a woman appears at the window every night till they be dead. This woman was many ages ago got with child by the owner of this place, who murdered her in his garden and flung her into the river under the window. But truly I thought not of it when I lodged you here, it being the best room in the house." We made little reply to her speech, but disposed ourselves suddenly to be gone.